Hey y'all, we're back. So we decided to do yet another video, and also in today's video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reacting to some facts we didn't know about the movie Wizard of Oz. Now, I'm not going to insert a picture of the Wizard of Oz because like y'all should know what the Wizard of Oz is by now and stuff like that. And pretty much what brought up this topic was, I'm just going to let her explain it.
I'm sure you all have, well, everybody's heard of TikTok. So on TikTok, I was on TikTok one day and I seen this video that someone had pulled up on the Wizard of Oz. So in the scene that I saw, they were like skipping. So as they were skipping along the trail, if you pay attention to the background, you could see someone like something small dangling. So people are saying that one of the munchkins hung themselves and, stuff like that.
Yeah, and they basically saying like one of the
someone killed themselves on set.
One of the munchkins had harmed themselves on set and stuff like that, and it made it seem like they were just skipping along, and not realizing what was going on and whatnot. And pretty much, I put up a video on YouTube basically talking about some things we didn't know about the Wizard of Oz, and I watched it before, and this stuff is scary. I swear to God, like this movie will not take place in this day and age because there will be a hell of lawsuits. Well, especially what happened with Judy Garland, in which we're going to get into later.
I feel like the whole someone dying on set thing was BS because somebody would have caught that. Like, exactly. They're not going to keep filming it, have them skipping and be like, oh, someone died. Okay, we're just going to ignore it. No, I feel like, it's just, people just want something to talk about. Like, nobody didn't hang themselves on set.
And plus, common sense will tell me as a director, if somebody harmed themselves on set, common sense will tell me to stop the movie, get the actors off set, and call 911. You wouldn't just randomly just film around, and plus the family of that person that could sue.
But they said, if you watch it closely, I'm sure you got footage of it. They said that was originally a swan or something that just looked like, a munchkin or something was hanging from a tree, but really it was a swan.
So yeah, like now we're just gonna get into the video and whatnot, and basically what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be reacting to some facts about the Wizard of Oz and stuff like that, and we're gonna pause in between to give our honest opinion. So we finna get into it right now.
The Wizard of Oz is possibly the singular most iconic American film of all time. The film was released in 1939, and it was produced by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. The film brought some much-needed light to the lives of Americans who were in the middle of the Great Depression. The use of Technicolor set the film apart from many other movies at the time, and the colorful cast, fun score, and beautiful set design all helped solidify this film in history. While the film ultimately became a huge success, the budget of over $2 million made it difficult for the studio to break even. It wasn't until the film was re-released 10 years later that Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer finally made a profit. Still, film critics recognized its genius the moment it was released. The Wizard of Oz was nominated for 6 Oscars, including Best Picture. While the film Gone with the Wind ultimately won the title of Best Picture that year, The Wizard of Oz still took home 2 Academy Awards. According to the Library of Congress, The Wizard of Oz is the most seen film in history, and for good reason. The filming process may have taken over a year, but every cast and crew member poured their heart and soul into their work. It was a grueling process, but it yielded wondrous results. Even though the film is decades old, it still holds up to the modern standards of a great film, and it can be easily enjoyed by people of all ages. However, many trials and tribulations went into creating such a masterpiece of a film. Many of the cast members suffered during the filming process, and some were affected permanently. Because The Wizard of Oz was created so long ago, there weren't as many safety regulations on set, and the actors were subjected to dangerous and even deadly conditions. Crew members often used harm.
It's just like what I had said in the beginning of this video. If this video had took place in this day and age, there would be hella lawsuits because you heard what he had said. He said, they went through like a lot of stuff, they pretty much risked their lives doing this movie. And which we're gonna get into in a little bit.
I didn't know that was like one of the most watched movies in the world.
Me neither. Especially during the Great Depression at the time, this had to
So this came out in like the
1930s.
Dang.
Like, this had to, like, be a masterpiece, because during the Great Depression, like, they were going through a lot of stuff. So this helped brighten up the day, hopefully. Oh, by the way, fun fact, I remember I was in 10th grade, and shout out to my 10th grade math teacher. I'm going to say her real name. Her name is Miss Souter. I love her so, so, so much. I remember she had said something about the Wizard of Oz, like Dorothy's ruby red slippers. They were originally silver colored, but considering the fact that that was the first movie that they had did in color, the silver was not showing up good on screen, so that's why they changed them to red.
Harmful chemicals and reckless pyrotechnics to create the film's special effects. Even though the special effects may have looked great in the final result, they were a huge source of stress for the actors. Even worse was the fact that actors were not given the protection they are today. Young Judy Garland was only 16 when she began filming The Wizard of Oz, but she was treated cruelly by the director. Make sure you stick around to find out when director Victor Fleming took things too far. And make sure you stick around to find out what part The Wizard of Oz played in Judy Garland's.
And the fact that she was a kid, like he had said she was 16 years old, the fact that she was a kid makes it even worse. Like, you don't do that to no child. Come on now. Like, I'm wondering, like, where were her parents in this scenario? You know?
That's what I wonder.
Like, they
don't just do that to a child. You don't really do that to anyone.
Do that to an adult. And plus, the fact that these adults were exposed to, like, harmful chemicals on their body and the special effects and stuff like that, too. Like, you don't do that to nobody. I'm surprised nobody didn't sue.
Yeah.
You know?
Untimely death. The Wicked Witch of the West put her life on the line. Margaret Hamilton played the film's iconic antagonist, the Wicked Witch of the West. However, the filming process ended up being disproportionately terrifying for the poor actor. The first complication came in the form of her green makeup. Today, actors are granted all sorts of protections and rights to ensure their safety is the #1 priority. However, this simply wasn't the case back in the day. The paint that was used to make Margaret Hamilton's skin green actually contained copper, which is incredibly toxic in certain forms. After every shooting day, she had to make sure the makeup was completely cleaned off of her skin to prevent harmful effects. Even more terrifying than the toxic makeup, however, was when Margaret Hamilton caught fire on set. While she was supposed to descend onto the set with a fiery background, Hamilton's broom caught fire, causing her to suffer horrible burns on both her face and hands. She was hospitalized and had to take 3 months off of filming to recover. Toto was ridiculously overpaid. Toto.
Welcome to Allstate.
Okay.
Lower order.
The witch. So what? So she was allergic to copper. The makeup was made out of copper or something?
Yeah, because the makeup that they had in and stuff like that, the stuff had copper in it, which was very harmful and stuff like that. And also he said, like, her broom caught on fire too, which made her suffer burns on her hand and her face, and she had to be hospitalized for it. Like, it's just like, people just didn't care back then.
She could have sued the hell out of them.
She could have.
And ain't no way out. Hell no.
Hell no. Well, this advertisement, y'all, so I'll probably fast forward through this.
Dorothy's lovable canine companion took home a check of his own after each week of filming. He received a paycheck of $125 a week. While that may not seem like much these days, during the Great Depression, that was an exorbitant amount of money. $125 roughly translates to $2,000 in today's money. While it may seem funny that a dog was paid that much during the filming of The Wizard of Oz, it was no laughing matter to some of the other cast members. The actors who played the Munchkins were tragically underpaid in comparison to Toto, and most were given less than half the money he took home each week. While the actors who played the Munchkins were still relatively well paid, it was still pretty humiliating to take home less money than the dog. The Tin Man was recast to...
Now, the fact that you, like he had said, like $125 back then was like really high money and stuff like that. The fact that you paid an animal more than you had paid the real actors, like, come on now. That's
so
just mean.
And what they said, the dog got paid $125 what's the word?
Equivalently.
Yeah, it's
Go ahead and do that for sure.
No. But the $125, the dog got paid $125, which is equivalent to like us getting paid like $2,000. So in this day and time, that's a lot of money, ain't it?
Yeah. Like you said, $125 is like $2,000 in today's money and stuff, and that was really high. And the fact that you pretty much paid the animal more than you paid the human actors, that's just mean. And like he had said, the Munchkins were tragically underpaid too.
Yeah.
Like, that's just mean.
To a health hazard. The Tin Man was originally played by Buddy Ebsen, the star of television shows like The Beverly Hillbillies and Barnaby Jones. However, he only lasted 10 days before he had to quit filming. Much like poor Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, the makeup used for the Tin Man was incredibly dangerous. The makeup crew used aluminum powder to make his skin silver, which Buddy Ebsen reacted violently to. He was hospitalized in critical condition because the aluminum powder had coated his lungs. Jack Haley was recast as the Tin Man, and while he did an excellent job, you can't help but wonder how differently the movie would have ended up if Buddy Ebsen had played the iconic role. Thankfully, the makeup crew changed the makeup so it was much safer, and Jack Haley got through the production without any complications. That same can't be said for Buddy, however, who suffered with breathing problems for the rest of his life. Judy Garland was grossly mistreated by the director.
Okay. Like they had said, like Buddy Ebsen, the man that had, who I'm gonna insert a picture of right here, like he had said, like the makeup that they originally had used had contained aluminum powder, which made the Tin Man's skin gray and stuff like that. But he was allergic to it, and it completely coated his lungs, in which he had suffered breathing problems up until the day he died. That's when they had recast it with Jack Haley, in which they changed the makeup. But that's a prime example, like I always had said, like there would be hella lawsuits in today's world because you think they test that makeup out first before they use it on someone.
Because usually, like, before have you ever, like, bought something, let's say, like, some lotion or something, on the back, they say it was tested on animals, and, like you just said, you'll think they'll test it on, like, animals or something.
And to make sure it's safe to use.
Yeah.
Because you just don't do that. And the fact that man had suffered breathing problems up until the day he died because of that, that's just, it pretty much cost him his life, pretty much. That's just sad.
Did the one that they replaced him with, did he experience anything?
He had said they had changed the makeup and stuff like that, and he got through the audition and stuff like that without no problems.
Oh, I thought on one thing they said he experienced something with that tin stuff on his face.
The reason the filming process was a nightmare for many of the actors was because they didn't have as many laws in place to protect themselves. Back in the 1930s, many cruel treatments were considered fair game. Poor Judy Garland, who was only 16 when she was cast to play Dorothy Gale, was treated shockingly by the film's director, Victor Fleming. During the famous slap scene, Judy Garland had a difficult time keeping a straight face. Many actors like to have fun while filming, and some can have a hard time keeping themselves from giggling. However, film was, and still is, extremely expensive. After several takes were ruined because Judy Garland kept giggling, the director, Victor Fleming, took her to the side and slapped her in the face. He told her, "Go in there and work." And, thoroughly chastised, Judy Garland got through the scene without laughing once. However, this was far from Judy's worst experience on the set of The Wizard of Oz. Make sure you stick around until the very end, where we will reveal...
Bro, I swear, anytime that would have been me, last day on set, I'm gone, and I'm a sue. Because you don't put your hands on someone, especially someone else's child. I mean, I admit, like you had said, actors like to have fun on set. I admit.
And filming is expensive, but you ain't gonna damn hit me in my face. Like,
prime example, what if Kessie was 16 years old right now, and let's just say she was doing a movie, and let's just say she came home and had told you somebody did that to her?
Excuse my language, but that person's gonna get effed up. Because you don't do that to nobody.
And plus, Kessie plus all of us, we gonna sue, ain't we?
Yeah.
You don't do that to no child. I mean, I understand, like, actors like to have fun on set, but there would have been a better way to handle it. You easily could have pulled her aside and been like,
could have threatened her, be like, look, like, you can't keep messing up this film, like, this costs money and stuff like that. If you keep laughing and messing up the filming, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to replace you. She probably would have got right then.
To the words right out my mouth.
But wait, then again, she was kind of on drugs and stuff, so maybe the drugs had her constantly laughing and stuff.
Or maybe, the fact that she had to slap the line and stuff like that, it was just hard for her to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
But there could have been a better way to handle that, like we had said. Like, you could have easily put her aside. Look, Judy, I understand you like to have fun, but still, like, you got to get this right. If you keep messing up, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to replace you. Oh, by the way, fun fact, when we were talking about her and stuff like that, tell me why I kept saying Judy Greer as opposed to Judy Garland. Because my sister had called, one day she was like, excuse me, what? I was like, oh, Judy Garland.
Who the heck is Judy Greer?
She played in that Carrie movie, in the 2013 version.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but there would have been a hell of a lot of lawsuits in this day and age. Like I said, that was me. Last day on set, I'm gone, and your ass gonna replace me.
The horrible part the film played in her untimely death. And if you're enjoying this story so far, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more. The Cowardly Lion had an uncomfortable costume. The actor for the Cowardly Lion, Burt Lahr, had one of the most difficult costumes to wear. It was incredibly heavy, weighing around 90 pounds, and was made with real lion pelts. The special lights used while filming got very hot, and sometimes the set reached temperatures of 100 degrees. Poor Burt Lahr ended up sweating so much in his costume it had to be thoroughly cleaned and dried every single night. Shirley Temple almost played Dorothy.
Well, I know he was hot. You see all the fur on that lion
and
costume?
it was made with real lion pelt too. Like, that shit is heavy as fuck. Like,
Could have had a heat stroke. That making me hot thinking of it.
somebody could have had a heat stroke. Like, somebody in today's news could have had a heat stroke. Like, what the hell? A shout out to us outside, so I got that from Red. But yeah.
They should have, like on
what they could have done, they could have used like faux fur. Like fox fur.
Like on Big Mama's House, how Martin Lawrence, well, this is kind of off topic. On Big Mama's House, they said that he had like some cold water or something going through his costume or something to keep him cool.
Yeah.
They should have done that, but they ain't have good technology, so they risked a lot in this movie.
I'm surprised the damn man could die, because you with all that heat and stuff on your body and stuff, that man could have fainted.
All that sweat.
That man could have fainted and died. They
probably had to press cut like a lot of times just to make sure he okay.
And like that man had said, like after film they had, thoroughly dry the costume and stuff because he was sweating so much. That's just like on Barney, like those big costumes that Baby bought Barney and BJ wear. I know there probably had to be like some installation or like some cool stuff going through there to keep them cool, because them hot costumes seem like they hot as hell.
Yeah, but back in the day, they ain't really have that good technology and stuff.
Yeah.
I know he was hot.
But I understand what you was talking about with Mark, because I think he had said they had like some cold water going through there to keep him cool.
See, now they can afford stuff like, well, they should have, I don't know.
The iconic role of Dorothy Gale required a special kind of actor, someone young and vibrant with real acting talent, as well as an incredible singing voice. Shirley Temple was a popular actor at the time, and producers seriously considered her for the role of Dorothy. After much discussion, however, they knew she simply wasn't right for the role. Despite her talent, her singing voice didn't match the role of Dorothy, and they realized Judy Garland would be the perfect choice. The snow was made from asbestos. The beautiful poppy field in The Wizard of Oz featured the talents of 22 artists. These incredibly hard workers had to make 40,000 individual poppies, which took a week in all. However, amidst the beauty of the poppy scene was a very real danger. The snow that was used during the scene was actually asbestos. Judy and her companions were all dusted with carcinogens for the sake of the film. We can only hope none of them suffered any long-term effects. The Wizard of Oz ultimately ended Judy Garland's life. Even today, Hollywood often projects unhealthy physical standards on actors, especially women. It was even worse in the 1930s. Even though Judy Garland was at a perfectly healthy weight, studio executives called her horrible names with regard to her weight, often referring to her as a fat little pig with pigtails. Even when she dieted herself to the point of being underweight, they still wanted her to be skinnier. As a result, the studio chief of MGM, Louis B. Mayer, only let her eat chicken soup, black coffee, and cigarettes, as well as diet pills. She was only 16 years old. As a result, Judy became reliant on drugs to maintain the, quote, ideal weight for film.
Sorry, y'all. We had to take a brief intermission because my camera died, but we're back. Okay, so like the man was talking about, the snow is made from asbestos, in which I'm gonna put the definition up here or right here and stuff like that. And basically, my sister looked up some facts in which she gonna share with y'all.
They're saying that I can't say it. What's asbestos?
Asbestos
can cause shortness of breath, dry coughing or wheezing, crackling sound when breathing, chest pains or tightness. In other words, respiratory issues. So they risk these people's lives.
These people pretty much risk their lives doing this movie. And R.I.P. to Buddy Epson, like, oh my gosh, like, the fact this man has suffered lung problems till the day he died, like, it just goes to show these people risk their lives, and they didn't care back then.
They just didn't give a damn.
This couldn't happen in this day and age.
She died of a drug overdose when she was 47. Despite its huge success as a film, The Wizard of Oz...
Oh, let's talk about her diet, like the effed up diet they had on at the age of 16.
Chemicals used during the filming, or by the fact that Judy Garland was forced to starve herself even though she was at a perfectly healthy weight. Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Factsverse for more.
That's it.
Alright, that's the end of the video. I'm going to link it down below if y'all want to see it. But what now we're going to talk about is the fact that they had Judy Garland on a strict diet. They had said like she was only able to eat chicken soup and she was on a cigarette diet and all that kind of other stuff, referring to her as a fat little pig with pigtails. Like, come on now. Like the man said, she was at a healthy weight and y'all want her to be skinnier?
That's messed up.
That's messed up, bro.
Very messed up.
And the fact that she was a kid, like, this goes to show you, like, what people say, like, the stuff that you go through as a child could hinder you as an adult.
Yeah.
And like the man said, she died at the age of 47 from a drug overdose. Like, that's just sad, man.
So they had her on all types of drugs when she was at the age of 16. She was on all types of drugs because she wanted to keep that idea of figure or something.
No, she wasn't on drugs. She wasn't on drugs. She just, they kept her on a strict diet.
Oh, I thought they said she was on drugs at the age of 16. I was gonna say that's effed up.
That is just.
And she was hooked to drugs and stuff from the age of 16. What age she died? 40 what?
47.
And I seen pictures of her, like how she looked, but she looked kind of tore up due to drugs.
But.
Well, rest in peace to her and all the other actors of The Wizard of Oz.
That's just messed up, man. But
that made me want to watch that movie.
Me
I'm
too.
gonna watch it. I ain't seen it since what? Since I was in school.
Me neither.
Like middle school or something.
But yeah, that just about concludes this video. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to link all my social media accounts and description box down below. So feel free to add and follow me on those. Also, I'm going to let my sister tell you where they can find her at.
On Facebook, my name is Daphne.Moat. And on Instagram, it's Daphne Moat.
And you can also find the little one here on TikTok, in which we're not going to tell you for privacy reasons. But until next time, let's say it together, y'all. 1, 2, 3. Peace out.